Hello YouTube, and welcome to another Warhammer 40,000 unboxing video. Today I have a special treat for you. I have part 2 of the Gathering Storm campaign, or as it's commonly being referred to, the end of times for the 40k universe, even though I don't really think that's what it is. Now, of course, last time was the Triumvirate of the Imperium, but now we have the Triumvirate of Ynnead for the now combined Eldari forces, combined of the craftworld Eldar, dark Eldar, and Harlequins. So this is the box itself. Got a nice little story on the back, bit of fluff. Got portraits of the 3 models that come inside. Then on the back, you got a little painting guide and just looks of the models. Now inside that, with what Games Workshop has now been doing, is giving you a little collector's box, and that's what this one looks like. Great artwork on it. Come to expect nothing less from Games Workshop. Now we're going to get into the actual thing itself. It does come in this little black tray. First thing we have is the little placard here that shows more of that awesome artwork that was displayed on the display box. Then we have the awesome instructions, fully 3D, color-coded, and just completely and utterly awesome. So now that we got all that out of the way, now that the instructions are out of the way, which took a while, now we're going to go ahead and get into the models. You do get 5 sprues in this kit. Well, actually 6, because one is a breakaway sprue. But first, we will get into the first character, Yvraine, I believe was her name, the Emissary of Ynnead. Now, of course, you do get her oval base there, just because I dropped the base, and I dropped some sprues. Alright, so we got her base there, and then her sprues. Now, she is an HQ choice, which you can include in the Eldari forces. She has 200 points, weapon skill, ballistic skill 8, strength, toughness 3, 3 wounds, initiative 8, 4 attacks, leadership 10, with a 6-up save. She does have a ruin suit for a 4-up invulnerable save. Her warlord trait is Favorite of Ynnead, which I will get into further detail at a later video. Her special rules are Eternal Warrior, Fleet Independent Character. She has a Mastery level Psyker 2, Stubborn from Death, which is an awesome rule, which I will explain later, and Stubborn. Now, she also does have a little extra other rules, such as the Grink's Familiar, which lets her generate D3 extra warp charges, but only she can use them, and it does not, those dice do not contribute to more dice for your opponent for Deny the Witch. So if they run out of dice and you have those extra D3, they do not get those extra D3 dice. And then you have Herald of Ynnead, which if a model is slain within 7 inches of her, you roll a dice. On a 4-up, she gains 1 mastery level up to maximum of 4. And she also does have an artifact, a sword, it's basically a husk blade, plus 1 strength, AP 3, melee, and instant death. So now that we have her profile out of the way, let's get into her sprue. Start with this one right here. You have her little blade right there, her fan blade. You have, looks to be a tuft of hair. You have her part of her torso. You have the blade right there, the Kavir, the Sword of Sorrows, which is basically, again, a husk blade for those who play Dark Eldar. You have part of her dress. You have her head crown there. Going down, you have what looks to be another little tuft of hair. You have the head of the cat. Then you have the body of the cat, another hair, and just another piece of her dress. Going on to the second sprue here, we have her body itself, her head, that long flowing gown that she wears, her leg of hers, the big part of her hair that goes on back, and then more pieces of her gown. So Looking forward to getting that built up. Next model we have is going to be the Visarch, or the Sword of Ynnead. Now he comes on a 32 mil base. It's just one sprue, so I'll go ahead and go through that quick before I get into his rules and such. There you have his torso, the back of his torso and the cape. You have that awesome looking head. You have the veins that make him look dark Eldar-y. Of course, this is a mismatch of all three styles. You have the dark Eldar with the veins. On the back, you have the helmet, which gives him that very craftworld Eldar-y look. And then you have the little masks of the Laughing God on his legs to match the Harlequins. Of course, he does have that all-dark looking blade and shimmer shield a little bit, that, well, at least looks like a shimmer shield. You have just more bits of his armor, and then I believe that's another part of his, yes, it is a part of our torso. That is his neck right there. So, going ahead and looking at him, he is again, an HQ choice at 150 points. Weapon skill, ballistic skill 7, strength and toughness 3 with 3 wounds, initiative 7 with 4 attacks, leadership 10, and a 3-up save. Special rules include Eternal Warrior, Fleet, Independent Character, Precision Strikes, Rampage, Strength from Death. Again, that's another thing I'm going to go ahead in a later video. Stubborn. He has Champion of Ynnead, which is all the same thing as, or almost the same thing as the Emissaries, except he gets... Okay, he regains a wound. On a 4-up, the Visarch immediately regains a lost wound. If the model was a character, you add to his attacks. Then you have Warden of Yvraine, which states that if he's in a unit with Yvraine or the Emissary, he automatically passes Lookout Sirs and always passes initiative tests for Glorious Intervention. Then he also has Ways of the Visarch, and that just states that even if he is not your warlord, he still generates a warlord trait. It says right here, the Visarch always has a warlord trait generated from the Ynnari warlord traits table, even if he is not your warlord. For the purposes of the warlord trait, the Visarch is your warlord, so he gets that actual bonus on top of it. Now, that does not contribute to Slay the Warlord, because he's not the warlord of the army. He just generates another warlord trait. Then he has an artifact, Al-Suvar, the Sword of Silent Screams, Strength +2, AP 2, Melee, Silence, and Two-Handed. Now, what Silence does is an enemy units within 3 inches of him use the lowest leadership in that unit rather than the highest. So, that's huge, because as we know, when it comes to leadership tests, you always pick the highest. So, that'll be useful against orcs, Tyranids, guard, stuff like that. Now, we're going to go ahead and get into the final and frankly my favorite model in this kit. I'll go over his stats before I go over his sprues. The Yncarne Avatar of Ynnead. Now, this is the second avatar I own, also owning the Avatar of Cain, the Forge World model with the spear. I will show him real quickly. Right there. So he's going to get a big boost with the Avatar of Ynnead. So, he is a Lord of War at 275 points. Weapon skill 9, ballistic skill 7, strength and toughness 6, 5 wounds, initiative 10, 6 attacks, leadership 10 with a 3-up save, and he is a monstrous creature. Special rules, he has demon, so he gets that 5-up invuln save. Deep Strike, Eternal Warrior, Fleet, preferred enemy against demons of Slaanesh. He is a Psyker Mastery level 3 and again Strength from Death. So the other special rules he has Avatar of Ynnead. Whenever an Eldari model is killed within 7 inches of the Yncarne, roll a dice. On a 3-up, the Yncarne regains a wound. So he will be very, very unkillable. Inevitable death. Now, this is the rule that explains how he is played or placed on the table. Because you don't just play him on the table like you would any other model. He must be deployed from Deep Strike Reserve. Now, however, as many of my watchers probably know, Deep Strike is, like, say, jump assault marines. So they'll come in, you scatter, blah, blah, blah. That's not how this works. So, unless the Yncarne is slain, each time a unit is complete. Now, each time a unit, friend or foe, is completely destroyed, unless it fled the table, you immediately place the Yncarne as close as the avatar, as close as possible within 1 inch of all enemy models from that position, even if he is in reserve. But now, this is interesting. It says that the Yncarne may not charge in a turn in which it uses this ability. Of course, that explains that that's the Deep Strike rule, where a model cannot charge the turn on your turn that it Deep Strikes. Now, as someone I know pointed out, this does not affect the enemy's phase. So if you have like a 5-man unit of, say, I don't know, Storm Guardians that get shot up at on your opponent's phase, they kill a 5-man squad of Storm Guardians, and that's first blood. The Yncarne gets summoned, and by default of the Deep Strike rule, unless this rule overrides it, it would be able to charge on your on your next turn. So that's interesting. I'd like to see if that's FAQ'd at all. Now you have another special rule, Ynnead Stirs, which just states that all friendly non-vehicle units with Ynnari, so the Ynnari faction within 12 inches, so that's again craftworld Eldar, Dark Eldar, and Harlequins, they have Feel No Pain and Fearless, which are both huge. As far as psychic powers, he generates from Demonology Sanctic and Revenant, which is the new Revenant is the new table for the what is it, Ynari, I believe is. Yep, the Ynari. So all 3 Eldar factions. Now of course, he has an artifact. He has a sword that is Strength User, so Strength 6, AP 2, Melee, Flesh Bane, so he's wounding onto his Armor Bane, rerolling armor penetrations for light vehicles, and Soul Blaze. That is huge. This guy is an absolute beast. So let's get into the kit. First, you have nice big. That's a 672 mil. Oh, I don't know the size, but you have him in 2 sprues. Now, I've been told by a lot of people this is a real pain in the butt to build, but we will see how things go. Starting up here, you have some tufts of hair. You have one of the 2 swords that he can be equipped with if you so choose. There's that one right there, and that's the big sword that you see in the picture right there. But he does have 2 other swords you can equip him with if you want to. Going down, you have some hair. You have another one of his legs and a foot. You have that weird baleful energy that surrounds him. That's one of the swords I was talking about. It's like a little dagger right there. Not exactly sure what that is. You have some more bale energy there, some more hair, some energy. You have a nice awesome little Eldar symbol. You have a piece of armor there. Some more energy. You have, looks to be a couple armor bits or arms. You have some more, I don't know if that's hair or a piece of his cloak. I think it's hair. That's another one of the daggers. You have, I'm guessing, another piece of his armor. And you have that awesome looking, cracking symbol right there with the seething, baleful energy. So, that is going to go ahead and complete my unboxing video of the Gathering Storm Part 2 kit, the Triumvirate of Ynnead, or of the Ynari. So go ahead and comment down below. Tell your friends to subscribe. I'm going to go ahead and get these things built up. You can find me at Instagram at Shane Mank, all one word, ShaneMank. I will put it down below in the description down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, happy wargaming, everybody.